Alright, HadesOmega here. I'm exiting here on Woodside Road. I'm in Redwood City, California. It's about 20 miles from where I live. Anyway, I'm riding here to Redwood City, California today to ride an Energica Eva. Woohoo! Yeah, so if you don't know, Energica Eva is a Italian-made electric motorcycle, and it's very comparable to the Impulse. I looked at the specs, and they look very simple. So we're gonna go check it out. So Energica's dealer and service center is right here in Redwood City, California. Kind of like Redwood City is a couple, I would say, I don't know, like 15-20 miles from South San Francisco. So here I am. Actually don't know where I'm supposed to go right now. I gotta figure that out. I just figured out what exit I had to get off, and now I gotta figure out where we're going. Hey, here, I finally found it. I think I just passed it too. I saw a moto inside there. So they just come and park inside the gate right here. So here it is, Energica Service Center. Here's we go. There it is. Alright, here I am. I'm following Chris on the Energica Eva. Alright, so I got an urban mode right now. It's actually not too bad. Yeah, I almost dropped it earlier when I got it. It is a little top heavy. Holy moly. It is a bigger bike than the Impulse. It is much bigger than Impulse. So we're just gonna follow Chris here. He's in the Energica, I think Ego. That's the sport bike version. And I don't know, the regen. Oh, he's okay. So he told me the regen will be. He said the regen will be. Man, the engine just sounds mad on this thing, man. It just wails. It's not bad. It's very similar. It feels very similar to the Impulse. Alrighty, you're moving again. So I think I got it in sport mode. So we're just gonna take a little cruise to Alice's here with Chris on the Energica Eva. We're riding down Woodside Road right now. Oh, full throttle! Holy shit, dude! Man, it goes. I had it pinned there. I don't know if that was sport mode though. I mean, I don't know. I have to say it's got some pretty good get up and go, you know. The engine just sounds crazy too. So it's quite a big bike. It's bigger than the Impulse. It's heavier than the Impulse. So I'm gonna compare it a lot. I want to compare it a lot to the Victory Empulse. I feel that I'm qualified to make the comparisons, because I've owned one for 6 months. So looks like we may be splitting lanes here. Alright, here we go. Lane splitting test. Let's do it. Woohoo! So it's actually, it's smoother than the Impulse. I'll tell you that. Just because it doesn't have the drive box, the gearbox, and the chain. Okay, right now I got it on Sport and High. On the left side of the handlebar is a mode button. There's like a selection, a setup screen button. It's like a video game. It looks like, it's pretty cool. got this crazy engine, like, it's kind of like a, I won't say it's a whirring sound, it's more like a, it's kind of like a, it's like wailing, it's a screaming. It's a kind of high-pitched whine is what it is. The regen is pretty strong. It's about as strong as the Impulse. It's kind of just cruising here. We're at 3,000 RPM at 50 miles an hour. We're curious to see what we can get the highest RPM. I think the Impulse, sorry, I don't remember, man. I think the Impulse goes up to like 7,000 RPM or something before it hits its red line. Actually, there is a, I don't know, it looks like there's some kind of gauge that tells you like how much power is going through the motor, or how much you're twisting the throttle, basically. Yeah, so it's a throttle position gauge that's on top. It's a little bar, and it's kind of like, it reminds you of the one on the Toyota Prius, is what it reminds you of. You let off the throttle, it goes into the blue, so that means you're regenning, and then it goes into the green when you're giving it throttle. And then there's a red section on the top, so I'm guessing that's when you're like got it all the way down. Let's see, let's squeeze it all the way. Let's see. Holy shit! Okay, never mind. I didn't get it all the way. Man, it has got a lot of power, dude. This thing is nuts. You better, if you twist that throttle all the way, you better hang on. But it's in sport mode right now. I think they did a very good job with the throttle on this. It seems very easy to operate, you know. Seems like the suspension is a little bouncy. I guess it's probably not set up for me properly. I feel like it wants to buck me all the time, you know? Or maybe it's too stiff. It could be too stiff or too soft. It's one or the other. Here we are running on Woodside Road here. Yeah, the regen is pretty strong, man. Pretty strong, but I'm used to it. It's a lot like the Impulse. And you can pretty much stop without using the brakes. So it feels like a much bigger bike than the Impulse. Let me finish talking about the gauge cluster, I guess. So below the speedometer is a kind of trip meter, and then it has a range meter. It has a little gas tank with a little it has like a electrical plug on it. So it says I got 60 miles here. And then there's an odometer. So man, like this gauge cluster has like everything on it. It's so cool, man. It's too much stuff to keep track, but you know, it's nice to know it's there. And yeah, you know, it's kind of there at a glance. Very, very easy to ride. Once you get it going, now, like I said, it's pretty heavy, but you know, once you get it going, like I said, remember earlier, I nearly dropped it. So on the very bottom is, so I can see there's a little Bluetooth symbol and a little green circle thing. I can't really make out what it is. Brakes are very good, even when you actually have to use the brakes, are very good. I don't know what that little symbol is there. There's a big digital fuel gauge is what it is, or battery meter. It says we're at 92% right now, and then it has a battery symbol on the right with a little thermometer. So I'm guessing there's no numbers or anything on it, but it's green. It's lit up green. So that means I guess whatever the battery is not hot right now. I guess if it were to get too hot, it would turn yellow or red, you know. Whee! All right. Well, nicely paved here. Nice. It definitely feels like a bigger bike than the Impulse, I'll tell you that, man. It's got a lot of meat to it. What can I compare this to? Maybe like a FZ09. It's more like a FZ09, where like the Impulse is more like a FZ07 sort of. Those are the Yamaha bikes. That's what I can relate it to in size, you know. The Impulse is definitely smaller than this. It's smaller and it's lighter. I feel like I got more bike to, you know, push around, but man, as you get up and go, you know, and the throttle is very nice. It's so smooth. I I am impressed. It's like the zero throttle, basically, you know. He said there's a click. You can feel a click when you hit the regen. I thought that's a nice feature, but honestly, I can't hear it or feel it, man. At all. You just kind of have to feel for the regen, basically, or you can look at the little meter. But yeah, it's very comparable to the Impulse. It's as high as I thought. The specs on the Impulse are very similar to the Eva. This has a slightly bigger battery pack, and it has double the horsepower. It's pretty much double the it's double everything, you know, on the power wise. But yeah, it's nice. The Impulse can get away with having a less powerful motor because it has a gearbox. So that is an interesting thing about the Impulse. Because you look at that motor, it's tiny, you know. It's a very compact motor and gearbox unit. Okay, looks like we're gonna make a right turn somewhere here. Whee! Oh, this car just had to get in front of us, man. Ruin our fun. Oh, thank you. The road is very clean and very nicely paved. This road is just recently been redone. It's nice. So smooth. Wow, the regen is like, man, you got to be careful when you get off on it, man, especially on a corner.
Right.
Yeah, you got to be real careful with it, man, because I felt the bike get unbalanced. It's almost like you're hitting the brakes while you're in a corner, and that's a big no-no. You don't want to do that. And you got to be very careful with the throttle. At least in the mode that I'm in. Right now I'm in Sport and the heaviest regen mode, and honestly, it's not bad. It's very similar to the Impulse, you know. Without the clunk of the gearbox, of course. Man, this is like the best demo ride ever. Just open it up there. Getting off. Roll off throttle. Roll off a little bit. Yeah, it's nice. It's almost like that one pedal driving of the Chevy Bolt. I drove a Chevy Bolt one time, and you can drive that thing with one pedal. You know, you just get off on it. It's like the brake and the gas is like combined on the regen is very strong on this, and you can feel it all the way down to, like, you know, until you stop. The Impulse, it's very strong when you roll off, and then the closer you get to like 0 RPM, you can feel the regen. It's like it tapers off a lot, you know. This one, it feels pretty strong all the way down to 0, you know. It's definitely a bigger bike. It feels bigger, and you know, I would think that the Impulse could probably keep up with this on the twisties, you know. But this bike fits me better. I've come to the realization that the Impulse is a little bit too small a bike for me. It just feels like a little too small, and this feels just right. I'm 5'10". 175 pounds, and when I sit on this, I guess the way it's set up right now, it's like, what does it feel like? I'm on the balls of my feet, and that's perfect, you know, that's where you want to be. Maybe flat foot would be better, but yeah, I'm on the balls of my feet, so not tippy toe, but you know, I can get both my feet on the ground. So this bike fits me better than the Impulse. The Impulse, I think I can heel foot it. It's a rad bike, man. So he was saying, the controls are pretty much the same. The way it works is there is a setup button on the bottom, on the very bottom of the left handlebar controls, and then that takes you into a setup mode. That takes you into a setup mode, and then you can adjust the settings from there, and you can adjust the power settings and the regen settings. You gotta be very, very careful with the throttle on the setting that I'm in, because if you're in a corner and then you suddenly roll off, man, it's like you jam on the brakes, you know. I haven't touched the brakes at all, dude. At all. This is the best demo ride ever, man. I'm telling you that. I would say for the regen, it's probably a little bit stronger than the Impulse, and you get regen all the way down to 0. I can feel it more down to, like, you know, 0 RPM than the Impulse. And I hope there's no, like, sand or anything on the ground, man. Oh, trans out. Those aren't. I don't see those too often. Woo, damn, you see that? Dude, I felt the back, like, a little slide a little bit, you know? I felt the back slide a little bit when I let off on the throttle there. Barely keeping up with them. Woo-hoo-hoo! That was awesome, dude. Yeah, it handles okay. It's you know, it's a big bike, man. It's a big bike. But it's comfy too. I'll tell you that. I've been sitting on it for like half an hour. I feel very comfy on it. So how do you charge it if the seat pops up. We're gonna go head to La Honda because he wants to go riding more. That's fine by me, man. All right, so I am still in sport mode. Let's try. I don't know. I just want to try in sport mode. I don't really want to ride in any other mode. Let's adjust that. So the way the adjustments work on the setup screen is there's a mode button. There's a mode switch, and it goes left and it goes right, and you can press it. So the left, if you move the left mode button to the left, that changes your ride mode settings. And then if you hit it to the, sorry, I gotta concentrate on riding here. If you hit it to the right, if you hit it to the right, it changes your regenerative braking settings. So it's off, low, medium, and high. Yeah. So I'm gonna go put it on medium, I guess. Since the regenerative braking seems like it's really strong. If you get kind of scared in a corner, in the middle of a corner, you chop that throttle, you may go down. So I'm gonna put it. Okay, I hit the blinker button instead. Okay, so I'm on medium, and I press it. So now I have medium regenerative braking. All right, yeah, there we go. It feels a little less. I think the high regenerative braking is good for like the city. I can't help but feel there's something wrong with the rear suspension on the back of this bike. It doesn't feel very planted. I think it's too soft or something. I don't know. Because I felt the back kind of wiggle around there a little bit. So we're just taking it easy. I'm not trying to push it to its limit or anything. But this is an epic road here. Brake. Oh wow, very good brakes. Wow, man, the brakes really bite, man. I'm using the brakes now, so. Yeah, I would say compared to the Impulse in sport mode, the regenerative braking it's more in high mode, but the Impulse is probably more than the medium mode on the Eva, is what I'm thinking. I'm hardly having to oh, dirt. I'm hardly having to give it any throttle at all, man. I tell you, dude, if I just whack that throttle really hard, dude, it'll take off, man. It's one of those bikes, like, it has a very smooth throttle, and you just kind of have to, you have to work with it, man. You got to work with it. It's the smoothness. It is much smoother. It feels smoother than the Impulse. So, man, I like it. I like it a lot. The seat's a little hard, but I think it's okay. This is awesome, man. There's nobody in front of us. Perfect day to go to the coast. So if you live in the Bay Area, or you can get to Redwood City, you can go take one of these for a spin. You just have to go on their website and then sign up for a test ride, and then you can go take on this little test ride here, and then you can see what it can do, And I am very impressed with it, man. I like it. It's a whole lot of fun. It's like the best stuff about the Impulse. The best stuff about the Bramo and the Impulse. Sorry, I'm getting my words mixed up. The Zero and the Bramo bikes, the Bramo or Victory. If you were to combine those two, this is what you would have, If you were to combine the Zero SR and the Impulse TT, the Victory Empulse TT, this is probably what you'd come out with, This feels like more like a proper sport bike. Sort of, kind of. I mean, both of those electric bikes, the Zero and the Victory, have very good components on it, but this, it's more like I guess it's kind of like a Ducati or SG650 or, something like that, or Gixxis. It's very comfortable to ride, though. I like it. Yeah. And then you don't have to think about it. You just kind of, I know you're going to do some phantom clutching for a while, but actually I haven't had any problem with phantom clutching for a little while. Ever since we started riding this for like 10 minutes, I'm like, no more clutch. So. Even the Impulse, I don't really use the clutch too much, I just use it to downshift, basically. Man, what an awesome ride, man, I'm telling you. I am totally digging it. And it's very easy to ride. I'm in sport mode, It's got a lot of power in sport mode. We can, I don't know, we can put it in urban mode, I guess. Okay, we're in urban mode. Alright, there you go. So I gotta twist the throttle a lot more in urban mode. Also, urban mode he said it limits the, the urban mode limits the amount of, the top speed, I guess. You can't go that fast. I don't know what that speed is, but, man, what a great day for a ride, I'll tell you that, dude. wanted to ride on these. Oh yeah, good stuff. Water. Pretty easy to ride. It's not one of those bikes that it feels like. It's not one of those bikes that feels like it does the cornering for you. You gotta kind of work with it, type of thing. Just ride it like a normal bike, but it doesn't. It's not as flickable as most bikes. Water. My, what is all that water, It's been a while since I've ridden on this road, man. It's pretty epic, man. It's pretty epic on this bike, too. Woo! Man! Man, it's so fun. So fun. Oh, dude, I know. So, I was looking on the website, and these go for $30,000, man. It's not a cheap bike. It's a great bike, man, but I don't think I could afford one. But if I could afford one, would I get one? Yeah, I would. It's like a better Impulse.